Hi, I'm Kelly Young with American Rifleman, and this week's Gun of the Week is a new version of an old gun, the A5 Sweet 16 from Browning. And as the name implies, this gun is a 16 gauge built on its own scaled receiver, making this model the first non-12 gauge in Browning's revived A5 line. John Moses Browning designed the Automatic 5 back in 1903, and when Winchester wasn't interested in partnering with him on the design due to some financial disagreements, he took his new semi-automatic shotgun across the Atlantic to Belgium's Fabrique Nationale. FN would go on to produce a full line of shotguns based on the design, including the 16 gauge called the Sweet 16, which would be produced until 1975. But interest in the Automatic 5 persisted even decades after it was pulled from the market, prompting Browning, now owned by FN, to resurrect the shotgun back in 2012 as the A5. And last year, 16 gauge aficionados got what they had been waiting for, the return of the Sweet 16. In reviving the Sweet 16, Browning decided to retain most of the aesthetic cues of the original line, but chose to replace the original's long recoil operation in favor of the newer inertial-operated kinematic drive system. Gas-operated designs are far more prevalent these days, but inertia guns typically require fewer parts and can be built lighter than most gas guns, and since no propellant gases are used to cycle the action, inertia-operated guns also require far less frequent cleaning. The Sweet 16 is available with either a 26-inch or a 28-inch barrel, the one we have here being an example of the latter. With a total length of 49¼ inches, this A5 weighs only 5½ pounds thanks to its lightweight aluminum receiver and has a 2¾ inch chamber. It bears the distinctive humpbacked receiver of the Automatic 5 design and wears a fore-end and a pistol grip style buttstock, both made of glossed walnut. A crossbolt safety is located right behind the trigger guard, and the bolt latch is found right in front of the trigger guard, and the bolt release button is positioned on the right side of the receiver above the loading gate. The Sweet 16's tubular magazine has room for 4 2¾ inch shells, bringing the onboard capacity to 5. However, the gun does ship with a 2-round plug installed. The sights on this gun consist of a white bead located mid-barrel and a red fiber optic pipe at the muzzle, and the 16 gauge A5 ships with 3 choke tubes, improved cylinder, modified, and extra full. Pattern testing at 40 yards with the modified choke provided excellent results, and the gun handled very well in the field, in part due to its ideal between-the-hands balance. Despite the gun's light weight, a soft rubber Browningn Inflex 2 recoil pad pretty effectively soaked up the 16 gauge's relatively stout recoil. While certainly one of today's more esoteric shotgun gauges, the 16 certainly has its fans and even its own society of patrons, which is a good thing because it is an eminently capable chambering, even if modern factory loadings can be scarce. 16 gauge diehards are going to want to check out the Browningn A5 Sweet 16, as should any shotgunners who are potentially interested in a gun that splits the difference between their 12 and 20 gauges. For more information on the Browningn A5 Sweet 16, visit browningn.com.